everybody. I'm just going to dive right into this today, okay? I want to talk about Kaspa. So I told you guys I'm going to do more reviews and price predictions about crypto, and I asked you guys to give me a list, and you guys most certainly have. Keep them coming, either down in the comments here or in my post section. Either way is perfectly fine. I don't promise I'm going to get to them, but if I tell you I will, then that's a promise, okay? And today, Kaspa, this is one that I don't own. I've been close several times. I've just never really pulled the trigger on it. Right? So this is one I'm quite familiar with. Overall, I like it, but there's reasons why I haven't chosen it, correct? And let's just kind of get into what those reasons are and really what's all good about Kaspa and why I'm still very bullish for it. And of course, there will be a price prediction put in at the end of this. But let's get into what Kaspa is. So Kaspa is a layer one, and just everything about it is actually the technology behind it is great. I'm not going to lie, not like we invest in technology, we invest to make money, but technology certainly helps. It's a key factor. It's not required, but in some cases, it most certainly does help. And with Kaspa, it's great with it. So when we talk about blockchains, right, we'll get a little nerdy here for a couple of seconds, and then we'll kind of move back out of it. But there's different types of blockchains, and we use this interchangeably, and I understand it's not exactly the same. If you want to nerd out with this, go right ahead. But Kaspa is something that's unique called the block DAG or the ghost DAG system, which is, it's very similar to blockchain, but it's honestly just a little bit better. It's a little bit faster. There's different variants of this where people have come up with something similar to blockchains, but altered it a little bit, like hashing, right? The Hedera hash graph, or if cue the immature giggles, sharding is another one that just improves upon the original, which is perfectly fine. And Kaspa's is relatively unique, and it works very well where it can end up transaction speeds right now are a block per second, and it can easily get up to over 100 blocks per second. What does that actually mean? Does that matter? It could. If Kaspa ends up being used for any type of currency like trading or just transactions in general, it's really freaking quick. That's what it means, right? Where Bitcoin might take 10 to 20 minutes to send a transaction over, Kaspa is pretty much instantaneous. You know, even with like things like Ethereum, before you go on layer twos and everything, you might have to wait a couple of minutes. Or everyone that sent things on Polygon, you're sitting there, you send a big transaction, it's like 20, 30 seconds. You're just like itching, waiting to make sure it's in there. Kaspa is lickety split, really quick, which is important when we're talking about layer one of what it all needs to do and send everything. Things I really do like about it, even from the beginning, is that Kaspa was considered pretty much fair launch, meaning that there was no ICOs, there was no pre-money, there was no VCs backing it up to buy beforehand, right? It was project comes out, boom, everyone can go ahead, free launch, free game for everyone to jump into it. There's pros and cons with that one. I overall like that. That's why I don't get in a lot of early crypto, is that you'll see when a crypto gets released, it does one of these things and then boom, and crashes because of how much selling pressure. If someone buys something down here, like a quarter of a penny, and it gets up to 7 cents, you bet your ass they're going to be selling some of it. And then other people panic sell, and that's why it dips. Big reason I avoid new crypto for the most part, right? Kaspa avoided that completely, which I thought was brilliant. They would do it because they're quite decentralized. You know, I know all of crypto is decentralized. No, it's not. No, it's not. But anyway, Kaspa is actually quite decentralized. It's not quite a DAO for a decentralized, automated organization. There you go. It's community driven. What this means by is that you guys, us, we're the ones who can help drive and push Kaspa far more than there's not someone in the back. Like there's not a CEO or a founder or a marketing team or anything major with that is pushing everything forward. So the positives with that is there's no hidden agenda, right? Especially right now with all these scams and rug pulls that we're worried about. If you guys have been in crypto, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of it. And this kind of takes that whole concern out because there's really no one in the back holding the rug to pull it. It does kind of have a secondary downside in terms of boosting fast, is that there's no one else to help there push it. So I'll talk a little bit later about how it's one of the big downers of it for this bull run, not as a project. I think it's a great long-term thing, but it's not on too many exchanges. Because usually you have someone in the background that is trying to push to get on exchanges, put in the applications, shake hands, send death threats and blackmail letters, etc. You know, the standard business thing. And Kaspa doesn't have that. But the pros and cons, I think, kind of they balance themselves out. And we're looking at partnerships because it's a layer one. So how do layer ones make money, right? If you're not aware, we'll just call like layer one's a company, and then they get small little other companies that come underneath them, right? Concept of when these other little companies make money, then the layer one, Kaspa, makes more money. So we like seeing to have more large projects, just how like render is on Solana, right? So the better render does, it's good for Solana. The better Solana does, it's good for render. Similar concept. So Kaspa wants strong partnerships, strong projects, bringing the dApps, all this wonderful stuff. They're slowly doing it, right? It's not huge yet. They do have some good partnerships coming. And I'm sure some of you that are really big into Kaspa have looked into and know a couple more that are in process and everything. They've got good stuff coming. It's just not where right here in the bull run, where we're going to end up having a lot of TVL come in from those projects. It's going to be a lot more of hype, which Kaspa had a lot of hype. It died off. It seems like it's coming back up. I hope so. But some of the partnerships that they have is the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation. It's really the heart of their promoting development, supporting research, and just bringing more projects into the ecosystem. So they have their little subgroup partnership that helps to try to pull people in, because you still have to advertise some, right? And then there's the Catalyst Development, Catalyst with a K. How adorable is that? So it's one of the main key initiatives of all of Kaspa is that this Catalyst development plan has invested about $10 million to foster growth in a couple of different stages. So they're call it something cute like seeding, sprouting, growing, whatever. The whole plant analogy, it's cool, whatever. But it's really just a funding protocol to help out when they're getting the research and they're bringing people in and say, hey, you want to hop on Kaspa? Here's the money to help do it. So they've got all the systems in place from kind of sort of third-party entities to come and help do this because they are decentralized. The biggest partnership that, or at least the one that mattered the most to me at this moment that's concrete, is a partnership with something like OKX, right? When you have an integration into a decentralized finance platform like OKX, that's huge because now you can do a lot of exchange support through there. Not to mention, they also have a partnership with SafePal for wallet integrations. Awesome stuff, because now we're talking real world use, right? Like, not to shit talk on Supra real quick, but I like Supra. The big reason why I haven't hopped on it for being so early as it is that there's nothing on it yet. I understand they're shaking hands, they're bringing projects in. There's no TVL from other projects coming into it yet. Kaspa is starting to do that. I don't think it's going to be enough right now to make a shit ton of money for this bull run, but they don't have to. Right? It just really helps out when you see a lot of TVL come in. And OKX and SafePal are great partnerships, and I'm pretty sure they're going to keep trying to target those type of directions, those type of companies, which is a good move because I don't feel like a lot of layer ones do that. I kind of hit on some of this already, but let's do a quick little bullish, bearish segment. We'll look at some charts, get an idea of where we're going, what Kaspa's been doing, because it's been steady, but been performing actually, in my opinion, pretty well this bull run. If you look at, depending on where you consider it starting at least, right? So again, they've got unique technology. It's not a huge deal to us retail, but having good, unique technology that actually makes a real world difference, that's huge for other corporations and companies to come in and jump in, right? I mean, it doesn't make a damn difference to me if Kaspa is 50 times faster and 30 times cheaper than Bitcoin. I'm not using Kaspa for that. I'm putting money into it to invest. But companies that are looking to come into Kaspa will care about that, because if they're coming in, that could be a difference of a couple of tens of thousands of dollars that they're spending or making in a year. So the unique technology, the block DAG system that Kaspa has is phenomenal for that. And I'm assuming that's one of their main leverage points of getting companies onto their layer one. Specifically when it comes into dApps, I really think when they start getting more dApps into play, that's going to help them out a lot. Kaspa might be one of the crypto that really does well in the bear market, guys. I've talked about this a little bit in that sense before, that I'm keeping my eye on Kaspa to be one of my bear market tokens. We'll see. Kaspa's got a strong community. You guys, if you're in Kaspa community or kind of deep into it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There are more Kaspa maxis, right? People who only own Kaspa than most other crypto. Aside from maybe Bitcoin and XRP, I don't have numbers to prove this, but I know that they're up there with it. So the good thing about having a lot of maxis, though I'm very much against being a maximalist in any crypto, except I can understand Bitcoin. I think I did a video on that before, but regardless, it's good for Kaspa for that to happen because there's people that are going to hold on to this damn thing no matter what, right? That's what makes meme coins the ones that actually stand out from the other ones is what do people actually hold on to? So that community-driven thing is very big, and Kaspa's got that down. Now I'm going to start. Let's segue from a great thing into a need to improve thing. They're working on smart contracts. They have it in the works where they can start the KRC20 little platforming program. So this is really where they can start getting all the dApps and everything onto it because you kind of need smart contracts for that to really run that all smoothly. And that turns into the downside too of there are no smart contracts yet. And that is a big deal because it lets you know how quickly and how safe things work. It automates a lot of things on the back end. It just allows you to do a lot more. Last bull run, the biggest flex that Cardano ADA had was the fact that they did so well for not having smart contracts. That was the narrative. I was like, holy crap, they don't even have smart contracts yet. Look how well they're doing. So it might not keep Kaspa down. But depending when they get the smart contracts running, and specifically if they have one or two dApps that come into play at the same time, that would be a huge plus. If they don't do that, I personally think that's going to slow down Kaspa's potential for this bull run to a decent degree. Changes. And they're not on Binance or Coinbase. I get they're on Binance futures, but you can't on it yet on Binance. And I really think it's just be kind of DOA, where DAO that on DAO, where there's not too many people to help try to push it forward. It has to wait until Binance or Coinbase. Like, I think we can make enough money from this thing. We should pull it in. It should be on sometime soon. I know the fact it's on Binance futures really increases the chances of it coming on full Binance before too long, but it's not there. And the reason, again, why this matters is more eyes. Right? Binance and Coinbase, the two largest exchanges by far. More eyes, more buys. Right? Especially when all the other retail who's not already in or new people come in, where do they go? They don't, get a NordVPN, do the KYC, and pretend that you're in Switzerland to be able to use an exchange. They don't do that shit. They go on Binance or Coinbase. So that will make a huge difference if they're able to get on sometime during the bull run. If they don't, again, that's going to bring down the price. And my price prediction, though it might anger some of you guys who are really big in the Kaspa, I'm going by what is there now, not what could happen. Right? Like if they get smart contracts and get on Binance and Coinbase, which they could in the next 3 to 6 months, definitely could, but they're not yet. So I'm not accounting that into my price prediction for today. Just giving you guys the heads up. So let's pull up the chart a little bit. Let's see what's been going on with it. Because when I first decided I was going to do a Kaspa video a couple of days ago, or no, I was going to record it today, it was around 7 cents. I saw it going up a little bit. Let's talk about that. I pulled up the monthly chart. You guys know I prefer the monthly to start. I think it gives us the best idea. And on the monthly, this looks pretty darn good, actually. It looks great. The last couple of days, it's been 2 or 3 days. So today's the 24th at time of recording. So yeah, last 3 or 4 days, it started really going up, which is good. A lot of crypto has, right? It looked like some of the AI plays were doing the best early on. I saw Render and BitTensor shoot up amazingly, which was great. And now it seems like a lot of the other ones are starting to catch up. Again, Kaspa is still a number 38 token, right? It's high in the market cap. It should move before a lot of the other smaller ones. But it's good to see that's been picking up. Its all-time high, I believe, was around 20 cents. It's at a 2.54, whatever, $1 billion market cap. Not small by any means, not huge. It's got plenty of room to go, which is good. Total supply, it's almost fully diluted. Right at this point, again, dilution doesn't really matter too much to me. You guys have heard me talk about it before. I look at inflation and dilution much differently, I guess, and it's not a concern to me. It's good to know about. You need to know about it. But this is nearly fully diluted, 26 billion out of 28.7. Fine. And they got a system. I think that all of it comes out by sometime in 2026. Like they'll have it all out next year. And so the year time chart, yes, looks like most other crypto did great. And then what? MAGA, Melania, scams, tariffs. Yeah, okay, we know what happened. So I look at the all-time. Gorgeous chart. That being said, what I think is going to happen in Kaspa, I think it is a solid choice. I think it's an incredibly safe choice, right, in terms of crypto. Not safe meaning it's going to go up 100x. I'm very confident it's going to go up slow and steady compared to a lot, and probably return down slower and steadier than a lot of them. Very likely, full confidence is going to keep going up. I've heard people talk about $10 Caspa. Sorry, guys, no freaking way. No freaking chance. You're talking about like 100x from now, putting this at $200 billion market. Not happening. Not this bull run. In the future, yes, I can easily see Kaspa after it gets a couple of big, strong dApps into play, maybe a couple of their partnerships. Awesome. But for this bull run, think of the next 3 to 9 months. No fucking way. For a lot of people, say $3 to $5. I can't see that, guys. I'm sorry if I'm doing the little bearish run here. Sorry, I just don't realistically see that. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. With the way things are right now, with them not having smart contracts and not being one of the two largest exchanges, I think they're going to go way past their all-time high. It's going to get a blast past 20 cents. But I don't really see them going too much further than like 55 to 65 cents right now. And do realize that's still like an 8x from here, right? I mean, that's a solid move forward. But if you're stuck on the idea of everything's got a 30, 40x, I think you'd end up just carrying the bag over. But safe play, good, easy return, in my opinion. If they get smart contracts in Binance and Coinbase, now I'm thinking they're going to clear over the dollar mark. I had no concerns telling you guys that one in that case. But at this moment, it's not there. So will I be buying Cas for this bull run? Probably not. If it stays suppressed, which I don't think it will, but if it stays suppressed under like 14, 15 cents, when some of my others move up, I might lose some profits in a Kaspa depending what the market looks like, because I think it's a great safe play. I know it's going to go past 15 cents as much as I can know, right? But I'm taking a look at it for the next bull run or for the bear market. But it's a solid play. I like it a lot. There's just other ones I'm a little bit more into. But what do you guys think? Do you own Kaspa? Do you like Kaspa? Have you never heard of it before? That would almost surprise me unless you're new. Tell me your opinions below. What are your price predictions? Do you think I'm way off base? I hope so. Right? If you guys think you're a dipshit, it's going to go $3. I hope it does for you guys. But I'm going to be here honest with what I think. So let me know what you guys do. All right? I appreciate it. There'll be more of these reviews coming out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.